Okay, so this is number 23. So this was one of the challenging questions, to be honest. We are given A, B, C are integers. So, and then this equation and the other two equation provided. And then we are looking for the sum of the pairwise product of these variables. Like as soon as I see this, like my first attempt was like adding these equations. Like if I add A, B, B, C, and C, A, that's what you have. And then you got A, B, C separately as well. So that looks like a good indicator to try like multiply A plus 1, like B plus 1, and C plus 1. When I tried this, like it was actually adding A times B times C as well, so which wasn't really like useful. So which is why I kind of stopped doing that. So, but that was my first attempt. But after that, like, factoring is usually good with the Diophantine equation when you are looking for the integer solution. So which is why I just like ask what can I do to factor, but because I cannot really factor each equation separately, when I add them, it wasn't really useful either. So maybe I can do pairwise adding. But if I add them, I can actually add the equation and then get a factor version, which is possible. But when you add the numbers, that looks like you are getting bigger. So instead of adding, I'm going to actually subtract, because when you take this difference, you got 13. 13 doesn't have much divisor, so which will be probably helpful. So let's take the first two equations. So AB plus C minus, if you take the second equation, subtract from the first, so you end up getting 13. So 100 minus 87. So the AB and BC, if I pull those together, so that will be AB minus BC minus plus C minus A equals 13. Pull the B's, so that should be A minus C. And then I can pull the -1 to get A minus C as well. So that should be 13. So the A minus C times B minus 1. So from here, so we got 13. So like since 13 is a prime number, so we have only a few options. So we could have 1, 13, 13, and 1. Since it says integer, it doesn't have to be positive. And then we have -1 and -13. So -13 and -1. So these are the like possible options to try. But this is number 23. So if you are kind of getting this, like you may expect everything to be integer, like positive integer, but that's the common like approach. Maybe whatever is common might not be the first thing we should try. You can try, let's say B minus 1 is like 13, B is 14. So if that's the case, you can plug into all the other equation and get two variable equation system. So you can try so to get integer. But if you try that, that's not actually gonna work. So which is why I will say that doesn't really help much. So, but instead, like maybe instead of trying the positive, so we can try negative as well. But I'm gonna skip like that trying option, but I will try this one as our next shot. Okay, so if I try -13, I know this is gonna like work because I tried the other one already. So I just didn't want to show now. So if I try this choice, like -13 is gonna be B minus 1, B has to be -12, right? So if that's the case, let's plug into the equation and solve for the other variable. And I know A minus C is gonna be -1. A minus C is -1. So if I plug -12 for B, so that should be -12 A plus C equals 100. And if you plug into second, so you get -12 C plus A equals 87. And the last one, if you plug B as that, so that should be C times A equals, this was -12, so just add 12 to both sides, you got 72. So like at this point, you can choose any equation. Like I can take this guy and this guy or any other equation. So if I take these and then you solve for A and B, you actually end up getting A as -9. And we already know the B. So the C has to be -8. So when you plug this for the given expression, so we got 276. So again, this wasn't too challenging, but at first, like it was looked like. there's no like integer solution immediately. So until you kind of subtract those, when you subtract, you have only four options to try. So if you try like any of these four, so you see it doesn't work until you get this one. But it is a kind of reasonable for number 23 to try some case and don't get any result and eliminate those cases until you got it. But if you're lucky enough, so you could just start with this one. But my first reason is like as soon as you start with the first one, it doesn't work, right? Don't try the next one immediately because that's the most obvious approach that you try. But if that doesn't look good, then maybe that should be negative or some other like answer or tries that we don't actually expect. So that might be the case. Anyway, so that was number 23. Answer is D.